Hi guys, welcome to Football with Brownie. I hope you're all well, keeping safe, keeping each other safe, and spreading the love during this pandemic. Um, Before we go any further, please like, share, and most importantly, subscribe to the channel because without your help, the channel cannot progress. Now, I just thought I'd start something. Hopefully, we'll be regular on a Monday evening. Just a live chat, really, talking about the weekend's football. I know the Chelsea Newcastle game will be starting soon, but we can have a chat about the the football that's just been played over a weekend. And also, before I go any further, if I can just change the banner here. Okay, check this out, lads. Away day of Prow. Thanks to Alan and the teams, we're offering, we're teaming up with Alan and the team, offering 10% discount for anybody who wishes to purchase a clothes from an Away day of Prow. Just type in the promo code, which is coming up here, Football with Brownie, in a promo code, capital F, capital W, capital B, in the promo code to get you 10% off. Don't say I don't give you guys anything. Right. Well, I say welcome to the Footy Chat Show. It's going to be. I'm going to try and keep it an open chat. Let's see who's in the comments at the moment. Hi, Joseph. I'm doing well, my friend. I hope you are too. Hi, Paul. I'm well, mate. And you? Right. Let's go down to the scores then. Concentrate on the Premier League at the moment. Right. On Saturday, we had Leicester 3, Liverpool 1, Crystal Palace 3, Crystal Palace 0, Burnley 3, Man City 3, Tottenham 0, and Brighton 0, Villa 0. Now, if we just look at the 4 Premier League games that happened on Saturday, what on earth is happening at Liverpool? I know that Jurgen Klopp sadly passed away, and it must have been it still is a terrible time for him and his family. Maybe would it have been easier for him and for the team if he just had some time out? Because it's obviously it's obviously affecting. It comes across if it's affecting him doing his job because of his interviews. And maybe it would be an honourable thing if they just give him a bit of time, away, bit of gardening leave. As let's be honest, in a normal job, your company would do that. I just think it may be better for all concerned at the moment, because it must be hard trying to focus on your job when at the same time your mum has passed away. Palace 0, Burnley 3. Oh, I don't know. I don't know about Crystal Palace. They're dropping like a stone, I think. Let's have a look at the table. Yeah, they've gone down to 14th now. 2 wins in the last 5. And with Fulham winning over a weekend, what they? Well, it's still got a cushion of 11 points from the relegation zone, but I won't be surprised if they drop any further. Going back into the chat as well, Mr. Nemeth, thank you for joining with Arsenal Realists. I know we are trying to do a show or do something together, and I'm sure that will happen sooner rather than later, man. But yeah, good to hear you, good man. Many thanks. And David is in. What's up? Hi, David. Hope you're well. Joseph, yeah, Isaac Davis got a contract. I did send my best wishes to his dad on Twitter today. And because his dad must be buzzing at the moment. I've known the family for many, many years. And let's hope that Isaac can progress now. Now that there's light at the end of a tunnel, where is he, coming into the first team now for him, and good luck to him, and the other guys in which have been recently offered contracts as well at the end of 23s. No, that's good. Good luck to him. Good luck to them all. So going back to the, what do you guys think about the Man City 3 Tottenham 0 game? Mourinho, hell of a talking point at the moment. We all know that he has a tendency with clubs to know when it's time to walk away, I suppose you could call it, but sometimes deliberate arguments come up publicly, which means that you get sacked and a big payday. But it doesn't seem to be working like he thought it would. Let's be honest now, has Daniel Levy backed him? Do you really think Bale, we all know what Mourinho is like. Now, I know that he was chasing Bale when he was at Real Madrid, but you're talking the best part of 10 years ago now, maybe more. Do you really think Bale, at his age and with his injury record, do you really think Bale was a Mourinho signing, or was it just a market employ by Daniel Levy? And let's be honest, a market employ which has gone wrong. What you guys thoughts on Mourinho at Tottenham? I watched that Tottenham documentary. I thought it was really, really, really good. I enjoyed it. But I don't know. Something doesn't seem to be all well within the club at the moment. We're at Man City, and I have stated, I did state on this, not this channel, but Beyond the Posts, Natisha's channel, about a month ago. I had a funny feeling when Man City was the machine at Man City was starting to, change gears basically. And I had a feeling back then that they were going to break away from the pack at the top, and I can see them winning the league by maybe 10 or 12 points. Now, I don't know what you guys think. And the final game then on Saturday was Brighton against Villa. Now, Villa can be hot and cold. Let's see the table again. I'll look at the table again for a minute. Villa can be hot and cold. And they missed the opportunity. Basically missed the opportunity to cement their place within the chasing pack. Very disappointing result there away to Brighton. Who, let's be honest, Brighton haven't lost in the last 5. But you still would expect Villa to have got 3 points. I don't know what you guys would think in the comments. And then also as well, my team in the Championship on Saturday, Cardiff City, won 3-0. And I have to take my hat off to Mick McCarthy. That's 5 games he's come in for. The first 2 were draws, and the last 3 have been wins. And in that fridge, there's a shitload of humble pie I need to start eating before it goes off. So, in all fairness, that was a fantastic, or 3-1, sorry, yes, they did score in the end. Thanks, James, for but in all fairness, it was very convincing, very professional performance by Cardiff, and unbelievably, they only won 1 place behind the playoffs. 6 points, still a little bit of a gap between them and Bournemouth, who are in the final playoff position. Try saying that with a lisp. But definitely encouraging the signs into McCarthy. And I absolutely hold my hands up. And when it comes to football, I'm wrong. I say I'm wrong. In other matters, I still try to argue my way out of issues. But anyway, please like this video. If you are watching on Facebook, please like. If you have a YouTube account, come over onto the YouTube. Then we'll go into Sunday. Sunday's Premier League games are Southampton 1, Wolves 2. Quite surprised result, actually. West Brom 1, Man United 1. Now, this is unbelievable. And Man United now. Hi, Rich. Rich, do you want to come in? Because I'm just about to talk about Man United, if you want to. That's unbelievable. Their last what is it? 1 win in the last 5 now. And that Cardiff reject, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, is proving what a shit manager he actually is. Yes, 1 win in 5. Whereas West Brom, well, they've had 2 draws in the last 5. They've conceded 36 goals already. As Rich says, they're very poor performance. We all know what I got him on my fucking brain at the moment. We all know what big Sam Allardyce, wanted to create at West Brom. The results really doesn't show that he's going to secure them Premier League survival. But very, very disappointing for Man United. It was only last month where Man United fans and Man United fan channels were all claiming they were going to be challengers. Where within the last 5 games, they are now 7 points behind leaders Man City, and they continue with performances like that on Sunday. It'll be more. And as Rich, I completely agree with you, Rich. They did have more chances. West Brom had more chances to win as well. Harry Maguire. Let's talk about Harry Maguire. £80 million. £80 million. Built like a brick shit house, let's be honest. But this is where the game is losing touch with the supporters these days. If you listen to many commentators, and Simon Jordan had this bang on TalkSport earlier on. If you listen to many commentators, because something has been shown, an incident has been shown in slow motion, the commentator will say, there's contact there, so it must be a penalty. And the guy goes down like a fucking sack of potatoes. You can see the contact there, it must be a penalty. Well, hang on. Football is a contact sport. It's rapidly becoming a non-contact sport. But, the size of a man like Harry Maguire, a little push shouldn't really put him off balance so much that he falls on his ass, right? If we were going up and down the supermarkets, before COVID, we were going up and down supermarkets, up and down the aisles. Now, on a busy day, you could brush up against somebody on a visit to a supermarket. You could brush up against somebody, maybe your arm or what. I'd say about 2 or 3 times. Each visit. You go to a big supermarket on a busy day, you could brush up against somebody 2 or 3 times, right? Do you see these people falling in the aisle just because someone has just brushed up against them? Yeah, you see it in the football pitch. You see it in a football pitch, and that's with fans of all clubs are starting to get really fucked off with the ruling now. There's a difference between contact and enough contact to put a player on his ass. I don't know. What do you guys think in the chat? Rich said Man City. Yeah. I completely agree with you there. James says very fairies now on too much money. They need to ban the ban the drivers, ban the divers. I fully agree. I'm getting, I'm just getting pissed off with it. All this contact, you can see the contact on the boot to the kneecap. What the fuck? What the fuck, like? What about the sliding tackle then? What about the sliding tackle? And I don't know, I'm going on a bloody rant, right? But also about VAR. When I was playing, 42 now, unfortunately. 42 now, and during my playing days, teenage days, the offside rule, I'm convinced about this, right? The offside rule was like your body. It was your body that needed to be offside. Not your arm, not your fucking kneecap, not your ball sack. It was your body, right? So, what the fuck, like? We watching VAR. Oh yeah, his fucking fingernail is offside, so it must be offside. Goal cancelled. What the fuck is all that bollocks, man? What is all that bollocks? Why can't they go back to the rule where a player's body must be offside? And we're going to chat again. Yolo, hi, my friend. What do I think? Payne in very, very good player. Very good player. Cardiff City needed a right back. Finally had the man, and he is absolutely tearing the tearing the league apart. Really, fair play to him. And Stan the man is back. Hi, Stan. Hope you well, my friend. And back in it. I know I'm going back in the day, Stan. Back in the day, in my day, I know. In my day, fuck it now. And Talk MU agrees. Yeah, no, I'm just, it just really starting to fuck me off. And another thing as well, right? Now, I don't know how many of you watch rugby union. I've always been more of a football fan than rugby union. My dad was more of rugby than football. We'd have some crazy conversations. But when the video ref come into rugby, right? I'll just have a little sip of my cheap Spanish wine, which has been here for 2 days. Right? Oh, it's fucking horrible. Right. When the video ref come into rugby union, my dad used to say, this is not helping the referees. Whereas all the commentators, to help the referees get the decisions right, So I'd say, well, why would it not help the referees? He says, because it's giving the referees the opportunity to pass the buck, to pass the decisions. And then he was right, because after a year or so, almost every single decision a referee should have made, he was asking the bloody video ref to make it. And that is what VAR is now. That's what VAR is turning football referees to. It's like, oh no. I'll go to the camera, because I don't want to make a prick of myself in on TV. I don't know what you guys think. I'm just really, I just really get pissed off with bad refereeing, VAR, stupid rules. I've always been, if you're offside, you're offside. But not if your fucking ball sack is offside. It must be the player's body. Just one sec, guys. Sorry, guys, I got a bit of a cold. Yeah, so it basically a player's body. So I don't know. Let's get back onto the fixtures as well. Arsenal 4-2 against Leeds, and for people who follow me like on Twitter or on YouTube, or I do have more Arsenal YouTube friends than any other club, I think, and I would include Cardiff on that. So I have been, as a non-Arsenal fan, I was outside of the Goldfish Bowl of this Arteta argument, which has been brewing now probably since October, really, or November. So I've been outside of the Goldfish Bowl looking in, and that can actually benefit your judgment a lot better, rather than having such a passion for your football club where frustrations take over. So when that statement about the process of the club come out, I, for one, could understand what they were getting at. FFP have come in since the days of when Abramovich bloody bought a whole new team at Chelsea. Can't do that anymore. So FFP have come in. And since that, no matter what team you are, you're averaging maybe a player or two every transfer window. So it would take a team maybe 3 or 4 transfer windows to really develop their playing side. So with that, I don't understand why, even though Arteta won the FA Cup, for football fans, winning the FA Cup is such a big thing. Most football fans have never witnessed their club winning anything. So I can't believe Arsenal fans who just aren't patient enough. I think it's quite embarrassing as a football fan. Not patient and maybe it's because Arsenal have had it so good for so long that many Arsenal fans have never seen them have a dry season. I remember back in the day, Arsenal, and Stan going to say, yeah, back in the day. But when I started supporting football, when I took an interest in football, which was mid-80s, and basically the league championship trophy didn't come off Merseyside. Was it from 81 or 82 to 88? Never left Merseyside. Was either with Everton or Liverpool. Arsenal were basically a cup team. One of the League Cup, they won. They won in about 87. Didn't they lose it then the following season to Luton? Stan, you're an Arsenal fan. You tell me, but I'm sure I'm right, didn't I? And then George Graham come in. And in a way, Graham was a lucky manager. He was lucky because that dominant Liverpool team was coming to an end. And Everton, the problem with Everton, I think, was all they played, because high school had the ban on English teams at that time. All their players wanted to try European football, give European football an opportunity. So many of them went north of the border, played for Rangers. Trevor Stevens, Gary Stevens, who else? Stuart McCall. Trying to think now. And then you had Terry Butcher and all them. They all went to Rangers, and so I don't think I personally, I don't know if guys my age or older would agree with me or not, but I think that Everton was the worst hit because of the English ban on European football. So going back to my original point, Graham was a very lucky manager, but it took him a few seasons to get that 89 championship winning team, or 89-90. Alex Ferguson. I mean, Alex Ferguson, if it wasn't for Mark Robbins' bloody goal in the FA Cup quarter-final against Notts Forest, which was 4 years later, after he got appointed, he would have had a sack. And yet Arteta comes in halfway through one season. He still wins the FA Cup on that one season. And because he did have a shit November, all these young fans who don't know anything else apart from success have created such a nasty Arteta out movement. I think it's embarrassing to other Arsenal fans and to the club itself. Let's go back. Cheddars, hi Cheddars, hope you well, my friend. Arsenal don't support their team to thick and thin. Yeah, it's probably a social media kind of probably a social media world we live in, I suppose. John Wayne. Hi, John. Just peeping in or peeping Tom? No worries. Welcome, John. Anyway. Here we go. There's a fucking leader of this Arteta out fucking bandwagon. Hi, Sam. Hope you well. Bollocks, Cheddars, he says. We've had plenty of barren years. We were promised a challenge when we moved to the... Oh, geez, I hear this fucking argument all the time. But we were lied to and sold down the river. We had to sell our best players. Well, weren't Arsenal fans warned that there would be barren years because of the stadium move anyway? Wasn't that right? But would you call winning the FA Cup a barren year? Would you call winning the FA Cup a barren year? I fucking wouldn't. I wouldn't call winning a bloody Mickey Mouse fucking Cup a barren year. If you won it. It goes back to my point, I think, Sam, that Arsenal fans have had it good for so long that they don't know. They've never known mediocrity. And let's be honest as well. Back in the time where Arsenal were very successful, the Premier League really had two teams. It was Arsenal and Man United. All the others were also runs. Towards the end of Arsenal's success, Chelsea started coming into it. But everyone, it was... but nowadays, because of oligarchs and bloody oil-rich money, there's far more competition now to win the honours than it was back then. So, I just... What do you guys think? Would you agree with me? It's far more Sam, would you agree with me? But it's far more competition now than what it was back then when Arsenal were successful. Right. Arteta out is not embarrassing. Emery got 8th in the Premier League. Arteta needs to improve on that. And so far, does not look good. Right, look, I'm on that point. Sam, I am going to look at the Premier League table. Arsenal are currently 10th. Right, so 8th he has to improve on, okay? Right, so we'll go on that. So Villa are 8th and a 2 points ahead of Arsenal, although, to be fair, Villa do have 2 games in hand. Right? Arsenal on 34. Okay, let's say 6 points. I think 6 points would be kind of a realistic gap in which they could. So 6 points. But 6 points would give Liverpool in 5th, which is a Europa League spot as well. Remember, they're still in Europa League as well. My point being, if that is your point, Sam, that he needs to improve from 8th, I can see that being very achievable. John Wayne had a few drinks since a long time. I feel it now. I may fall asleep. Yeah, I know. Oh, it's fucking horrible, this shit. Oh, Jesus Christ. Bound years, of course, a year's not winning anything. We had plenty of votes previously. And then John Wayne comes in. Evening, Sam. Oh, well. Rich. You lot are talking amongst yourselves, you bastards. Hi, Russ. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're well. We were told the Emirates would give us cash to challenge with most clubs in Europe to challenge. Then we had nothing to sell. Our best player. 4th is a trophy. No, 4th is not a trophy. Come on, Sam. But, okay, here's a point. You can come on, Sam, if you want. You can come on. But let me make this point against what your statement there. When were the people in charge of the club who made that statement, the move to the Emirates would give us, would give us a cash to challenge. Are they the same people who are in charge of Arsenal now? I don't think so. So can the club's priorities be different then? If you can see what point I'm getting at. Wenger told us 4th is to sell us short. That's my yeah, but that's Wenger now, though, isn't it? You know, Wenger's made a few comments because Wenger just cares about Wenger, in my opinion. Which says, "Oh, so memory's crap." Hi, Gary. How are you? Yeah, fuck off. And Rich, and you, right? No worries, right? I just, let's go back then. Anyway, where are we now? Yeah, another very shock result was Everton Fulham. Now, fucking hell. I've always had a soft spot for Everton, and if they had won, they would have been joint with Liverpool in 5th, and very much in the chasing pack. But that has damaged the campaign so much. And Go Lemons is in. I love that name. Thanks, Go Lemons. Yeah, Cardiff got Luton tomorrow. There will be a watch along. I will be doing the advert later for it. And then tonight, now I know there's one game going on already. But West Ham beat Sheffield United. Was it 2-0 or 3-0 in the end? But they definitely beat Sheffield United anyway. And West Ham, 3-0. they are really they fourth now. West Ham are actually fourth now, and David Moyes is proving his critics wrong in a big way. And fair play to him. Fair play to him. Now, I don't know if many of you are either Hammers fans or watch any of the West Ham fan channels. I really enjoy them. I think they, as content goes, I think they're one of the better channels than many other teams. But they have only they sold Haller at the beginning of January, so that only give them one striker to one known striker to play, which is Antonio. But for people who know, oh, here we go. Sam is coming in. There you go. Hi, Sam. How are you?
I'm all right.
Yeah, hang on. I need to do the layout now. There you go.
There we go.
There you go. Yeah, not too bad. I'll just finish off my point with West Ham, Sam, and then we can have a chat.
Go on.
They've only had Antonio as available. Didn't have another striker throughout January transfer window, where the fans were crying out for. Antonio, as his hamstrings are made from breadsticks, went again, probably out for another 3 or 4 weeks. So they've had to make do with would you call it a false number 9? But Chuck Lingard up there, they've tried with Bowen up there, and they come away with a very good performance tonight. Well, what's your thing with West Ham, Sam? What's your feelings? I think as a non-Premier League supporter, because my team's in the Championship, unfortunately. But as an outsider, I've really enjoyed watching West Ham this season. I really have. You never know what West Ham's going to turn up, but it's definitely signs of the Everton side in which Moyes created. Going back 15 years ago. I don't know what your opinions on it.
No, I'll tell you what, West Ham are arguably the team of the season. I mean, when you look at what was expected from them before the start of the season, the fans themselves expected to be struggling, towards relegation, maybe getting into a relegation fight. They're bored, in shambles with the owners and everything, all that trouble going on behind the scenes. They were struggling. They couldn't really. They didn't really have a player they thought could score goals. They were just completely all over the place before the season started, and they didn't really have much faith in Moyes either. And and it's been a complete revelation for him, hasn't it? I mean, West Ham have really done really well, and you've got to give it to them. Moyes has done really well. The players have surprised a lot of people. Some of those players who weren't really well known they're known now, aren't they? Like Souček and they're
Corfell as well. Corfell.
Yeah, and Bowen and these guys have really put themselves on the map. And you just got to hand it to them. They've really performed well. And like I said, when you look at where they were sort of expected to go really before the season, you look where they are now. They must be arguably, if not the, surprised, overperforming, or not overperforming, but the surprise team of the season.
Yeah.
I don't see who else it can be. I don't see who else is that much of a surprise than compared to them. I mean, I know Villa have done a lot better than expected as well, but Villa were not expected to be in a relegation battle where I think West Ham were, weren't they?
Well, if you remember, Sam, I actually predicted Moyes would be the first to be sacked.
Yeah, exactly.
On the eve of their first game, they went behind his back and sold that youngster to West Brom.
Exactly, and I thought he was going to walk out then.
Yeah,
I thought he was going to walk out then. Yeah.
But in all fairness, but I tell you, it was really stepped up this season is Declan Rice.
Yeah, he's looks like he's had a good season. I must be honest, I haven't seen many West Ham games, only a few. But the games I've seen with West Ham, Declan Rice looks pretty good. Souček is looking really good, isn't he? He's looking like
I think that midfield partnership or midfield defensive partnership, Rice and Souček, I would say it's best midfield partnership in the league at the moment. Souček
work really well.
You got his goals, and West Ham goals against 28 goals against. That's less than Man United and Liverpool.
Yeah, they're a good unit. They're a good unit. That defense is pretty good when you look at their defense. Yeah. They're a good unit. So, and when you got to give credit to Moyes for getting it out of them. Moyes is a good manager. I mean, I know he didn't quite cut it at United, but what he did at Everton was incredible. Really, when you look at it, where they were when he came in, and how many times he got them, well up the table and far into different competitions.
Well, I watched Everton in the Champions League. I watched Everton in the Champions League, and that was under Moyes. That was in Villarreal. Me and my friend flew to Valencia. I'll tell you this story now, Sam. Me and my friend flew to Valencia because that's the nearest airport really to Villarreal, and we spent the day there. We got a few bevies down us. Okay, I shouldn't admit this now, but I drove to Villarreal, which is about 80 kilometers or whatever. But I on the way, we had a few more bevies, and then on the way back, he fell asleep, and I completely forgot that the road signs were in kilometers. Right, I completely forgot. And we got back to Valencia so quick, and then I realized, fucking hell, the signs were like 140 kilometers per hour was the maximum. I'm trying to get 120, 140 miles an hour. No wonder we got back fucking quick. Jeez.
Oh,
jeez. Yeah, I know. So but that time was under Moyes, but I think his time at Everton came to a natural end.
Yeah, because it's sort of that was before Uzmanov came in and everything, and it was. I think it just sort of it had its natural end. He couldn't really take him any further. I think he got the maximum you could out of that team. You couldn't get more out of it than what Moyes got, really. I mean, realistically. So, hand to Moyes. He's a good manager.
Yeah, which brings a point then. Arteta was brought into Everton under Moyes, who then went on to captain Arsenal, who's now gone on to manage Arsenal.
Yeah, I mean Arteta was a decent player, wasn't he? He was in Rangers, and then he came to Everton.
Sociedad, PSG as well, I think, wasn't it?
He had. I think Arteta became a bit of a club legend at Everton. So he was a very good midfielder.
So, what's your opinions on Arteta? Come on.
I'm not Arteta out. I mean, I say Arteta skeptical. I'm not sold on him yet. I'm backing him because he's the manager, and he's got a stay of execution, so to say, for the results we had recently. But you see, the thing is, all this there is all this trust the process and everything. First of all, we don't really know what the process is. No one can tell us what the process is.
Yeah.
Second of all, I don't agree that there has been progress so far. When you look at where we are in the league and where we're most likely going to end up in the league, it's not progress because we're going to struggle.
Where do you think they're currently 10th?
But there's teams around us with games in hand.
That's the point I was going to make. There are teams that are in games in hand. So as a whole, I wish I could get it up on you, but I'm fucking useless with computers.
Don't worry about it.
But as a whole, where do you think they'll finish this year?
Well, I think 8th is about the best we can aim for, really. And then you're looking at, and then again, if you haven't improved on 8th, you haven't improved, you haven't progressed.
But you've won a trophy. If
We haven't won a trophy.
Well, he won the FA Cup, didn't he?
Yeah, last season. This season he binned it. This season he said fuck off to the FA Cup.
But is that because because of COVID, we all know that a lot
No,
of
because it's bollocks. It's Arteta making another poor decision. He said fuck you to the FA Cup, which is I agree with you. FA Cup is a lovely, important. It's an important trophy domestically. I think the FA Cup's a nice trophy to win. For me, that's the only thing that's kept Arteta in his job.
Yeah,
that's the only thing that's
given him some credit
That's the only thing that's given him credit in his bank. If he hadn't won the FA Cup, he would have probably been gone. To be honest, and if there had been fans in the stadium, he would have been gone. I can tell you there would have been mutiny. There would have been mutiny at Emirates if we would have got to that fourth home loss with Burnley with fans in the stadium. With that.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
COVID saved him. COVID has saved him. If anything, it saved him, and then he was forced into. Well, it definitely saved him because COVID forced him to bring in Smith Rowe and play him because he wasn't going to play him. He wasn't going to play him until.
On about Smith Rowe, what's your thing with Maitland-Niles then? He's gone to West Brom now, hasn't he? People are criticising some of his passing last night. Or against Man United.
Well, that's the thing is, we've seen this is the thing we've seen with Maitland-Niles. He's so hot and cold, isn't he? He's definitely he's got a lot of potential, but he's just there's too many games. There's too many games that he doesn't perform, unfortunately, and that's probably why we let him go out on loan. He's a very versatile player. He can play in many different positions, which is very handy, of course, to have, but. He's just not. He's not kicking on. He's not, taking it to that next level. So, arguably, you can say he's ready to go move on now. Basically, I can back that decision that he's ready to move on. The same with Reece Nelson.
I think Maitland-Niles finishing.
And Willock. I think Willock's ready to move on as well. Willock's doing okay at Newcastle. He scored in his debut, but he's not doing that for Arsenal. I mean, he
may have found his level.
He's found his level, exactly. He's not top tier team material, I'm afraid. But Smith Rowe is. Smith Rowe is a very good player, and he's forced it. Yeah. Sorry,
mate. Cheddar's come back and said that
wow.
he thinks.
How's that a good decision? We fucked the FA Cup to get 2 losses in the league, and we got nothing in the league. We might as well.
Yeah. Okay, if those losses were wins. Would you have said?
Oh, come on! If I was a model with big tits, I would look lovely, wouldn't I? I mean,
no. But listen, he didn't know those were going to be 2 losses, and let's be honest.
He made the decision.
Officiating against Wolves was a shambles. I think every football fan.
He made the decision, and for me to bin the 4th round of the FA Cup, or the 4th round, or was it? Yeah, the 4th round. To bin the 4th round of the FA Cup, it's a trophy we've just won. It's a trophy that arguably fans like, and it's an important trophy. You say it's an important trophy. I say it's an important trophy. You were slagging off Arsenal fans for not really, appreciating the FA Cup win and everything. Well, I do appreciate the FA Cup win. For me, it's an important trophy, and that's why I'm mad at. That's why I'm mad at Arteta for not thinking it's important at all.
I know, but the point I'm making, for this season alone, because all the games are crammed up, and I can for small squads.
But the thing is, you look at fans. What do we live on? You've been saying this all the time, Brownie. Which I've got to pull you up on being a bit hypocritical.
Come on, I'm ready for it.
Because you say the trophies are so important, and us fans don't appreciate the trophies like the FA Cup and the League Cup and everything, right? So what I'm telling you, we've got our best chance of winning trophies at Arsenal at the moment. We're not going to do fuck all in the league. Our best chance of winning trophies at the moment is the FA Cup and the Europa League, right? So we want trophies as fans. We want that day at Wembley. We want the parade. We want we want all the glory that comes with winning an FA Cup. Well, Arteta didn't, right? So You know, and that's what annoys me and many other fans is, you know, that was the shortest way to a trophy. You go through the fourth round, and the next round would have, I can't remember who we had in the next round. It was drawn. I think it was Bournemouth or something. I can't remember in the next round.
I think so.
And then from the fifth round, you got the quarter final, and then you got, you know, the road to a trophy in the FA Cup and silverware is much shorter than fucking just going, oh, we might be able to get up to 6 in the league, maybe, which, you know, it didn't happen. And then, of course, now we're in a situation where we have to put all our eggs in the Europa League basket because that's our only chance of getting into Europe now.
I know it is that's a risky strategy, and you can tell. I fully understand where you're coming from. I fully understand where you're coming from, and yes, you're probably right. It is hypocritical of me, but from an outsider looking in, I think at the time, Sam, because you had Deadwood still lurking around, I think the squad was kind of like technically smaller than what the numbers were showing, and I think that Arteta took that gamble, and unfortunately, as you say, it didn't pay off. It didn't pay off because the following 2 games were 2 losses. But I think you basically loving Arteta, being a bit of an Arteta lover. You know, saying, oh, he won the FA Cup and all this, and should get credit for winning the FA Cup. And then he goes and bins the FA Cup. You know, what is it? But what I'm saying, listen, neither of us are mystic, Meg. At the time he took that decision, I can see why he took that decision. On a normal season, I would completely agree with you. But because there's been and you know this, Sam, there's been so many games crammed into December, January.
But it's the same for everyone. It's the same for everyone. And we're in this for trophies, not for, you know, we're in this for trophies. So he was obviously saving players' legs for the league, thinking we can maybe get higher up in the league. And yes, I can understand that is what he was thinking. Of course, I can understand that. But I don't agree with it. I just don't agree with it. I think
it's fine. I hold my hands up. I probably am hypocritical.
He binned a possible trophy for Arsenal. When we're a cup team, like you said, we're a cup team. We are a cup team. We've been useless in the league for years, but we win cups. We win FA Cups. We won the most FA Cups out of everyone. You know, we win FA Cups all the time, basically. I mean, I'm putting things a bit, you know, I'm exaggerating a little bit here, but I mean, we in the 2000s, we've won the FA Cup a lot, right? We really have. So, you know, and
I'm waving a white flag. I'm waving a white flag, Sam. It's Brownie nil, Sam won.
No, but overall, back to Arteta overall. You know, it's those little things that keep annoying me with Arteta. Is he will show some good things, and he'll do loads of things that don't make any sense. Like this absolute. He loves Luiz, Bellerin, Xhaka never gets a rest. He's a bionic man, this Xhaka. He's never rested. You know, Luiz, he keeps bringing in Luiz. He keeps fucking making mistakes. And then you've got, you know, Willian, who
I knew
he
was going to come up. I was waiting for you to say
He hasn't started games, right? He hasn't started games, which of course he shouldn't. He should be nowhere near starting games. But he keeps bringing him on. It keeps bringing him on instead of Martinelli, instead of other players who should be coming on ahead of him. It keeps bringing on Willian, and it's just everyone's just like, what the fuck are you doing? Yeah. You know, and it's all these weird all these weird substitutions and tactical decisions toward the end of the game. You know, and like against Leeds now yesterday, we played a very good game against Leeds. The first half was really good. Then the second half, we knew they was going to come out blazing to try and get back at us. They weren't going to give up because Leeds is a team that never gives up. You know, and then all of a sudden we start sitting back and letting them back in. And instead of trying to get back at them, he starts taking off all our attacking players, and we start sitting back and just invite them to attack. Yeah. Again, tactically, that's just completely wrong. You know, and it's these decisions that he keeps making that, keeps making me think: is he the right guy to take us to the level where we want to be? Because we want to be top four. We want to challenge. Eventually, we want to challenge for the league. Eventually, within a few seasons. I just can't see Arteta being able to do that. I really can't, unfortunately. That's my view at the moment, anyway.
Do you think he fancies Martinelli?
That's the thing. That's what you got to wonder. When you bring us on Willian instead of Martinelli, when Martinelli does 1,000 times more, you've got to start asking that question.
So do you think my theory about Willian's contract is now true?
Yeah, but what are you saying then? Is it minutes then, or what were you saying? What is it in his contract?
I don't know,
because it's not starting games because
no.
It's not starting games because he hasn't started
games. Must be appearance. So even the last 20 minutes can classify as one appearance, can't it? I suppose.
Maybe if they've drawn up a contract like that, then that's another fucking reason to tell him to go fuck off. Because how you can give a contract like that to any player is just not on. You should never ever guarantee a player time no matter what. That's just not on. Really, it's not.
But it does kind of, the signs tend to be going that way.
At the moment, that's sort of the only thing that it's either Arteta has a serious fetish for the guy, or that is it. He has to come on to satisfy some agreement or something like that, because there's just no. I mean, bringing him on instead of Martinelli, against Leeds, and he did the same again in the previous game against Wolves. He was bringing on Martinelli instead of I can't remember who's not Lacazette. Sorry, someone else. I can't remember now, but there was someone else he should have brought on before. And it's like, what the hell are you doing? Now Willian comes on and he does fuck all. Like he hasn't done anything since the first game against Fulham. And he shouldn't even be in the matchday squad. Seriously. He shouldn't even be in the matchday squad, but he gets into that matchday squad anyway, and then he gets to play. It's just not on, unless this. Yeah.
No, I'm just going on to other games, really, Sam. What's your thing regarding Liverpool? What's your thoughts with Liverpool at the moment? We lost 3-1 away to Leicester. Leicester was always going to be a difficult game anyway.
Yeah, but they're in trouble at the moment. They're in trouble because it's a combination of things. It's like what you call a perfect storm, I think. Cheddars is probably going to pipe up a bit here now, our resident Liverpool fan, God bless him. But it just seems to be a perfect storm of, you've got the combination of Liverpool, which you rightly pointed out, and I also said the same thing. We could see from basically December onwards last season. Remember when they went on that little dip of form, and everyone was saying, it's because they'd already won, they were so far ahead, blah, 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 right? That little
and then they went to Watford, wouldn't they?
That little dip of form, and then COVID happened, the lockdown. But people forget they were in that little dip of form before COVID. So then the lockdown came, and then they came back, and everyone's like, this is all just, a charade basically for Liverpool to win. And then they won with 5, 6 games, 7 games to go, whatever it was, I can't remember. And then they was like, the rest of the games is just a party. They're not really, on it full 100%. And they had a few terrible performances there, and you could just see, even arguably with that lack of motivation because you've already won the league, but you could already see the way they were playing was just not the same. There was a dip there, there was a change there, and then we've seen that continue into this season. And at the same time, you've got Manchester City, coming back again. You got Manchester United improving. Other teams improving, Leicester improving again. And then you've got their injury crisis, right? Unfortunately for Liverpool, they've had a really, really bad time with injuries, especially in defence. And, so that perfect storm of injuries, dip in form, teams now being able to play against Klopp, understand his tactics better and counter it better, which I think was going to happen anyway. If you keep playing that same way, or nearly the same way for 3, 4, 5 seasons, other teams are going to figure out how to counter it, especially the better teams. And I think that's just that combination of everything all coming together there. And then those injuries don't help when you're losing your key defenders. That's never going to help. You're always going to be a bit more vulnerable then. And also at the same time now, recently, Alisson, their goalkeeper, has normally been very sturdy, one of the better goalkeepers, in Europe and definitely in the Premier League. He's been terrible for like 3 or 4 games now. 2 games in a row, he's had huge fuck ups. So, it's just not a good combination for him at the moment. Klopp's got a big job on his hands now to sort of pull this back. And he's good enough to do it. Klopp is a good enough manager to do it. So,
do you think they've been found out, Sam?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They've been found out. The tactics have been found out by the big teams. The big managers have found out how to play against Liverpool. Arteta included. Arteta's got good results against Liverpool as well. Losing their players like that, through injury and the dip in form as well they've had, it just hasn't been good for them this season, unfortunately, and that will happen when you play that high intensity, really, I call it like intricate football. You're playing in a very intricate way. You can only do that for so long until it sort of doesn't really work anymore. You get to a saturation point where all of a sudden, it just falls off a bit. And it's only got to fall off like 10, 20%, and that's it. You're not going to win games anymore, right? So I think that's what's happened. But Klopp will pull it back. He's a good enough manager. He'll pull it back for them. They just need to do things differently. And also what it exposed, I think you said the same, Adam, when we was talking about Liverpool earlier this season. I think it's also exposed their lack of squad depth. Yeah, they've got a very good first 11, but you start taking away a few of those players. It's not the depth is not that great, and he didn't get back, did he? The Klopp didn't get back in the summer. He didn't get any players.
They were very, very lucky last year.
Yeah,
with injuries, and it's kind of like this year now. They've had 2 years worth of injuries in one season, really.
Yeah.
Right, as a non-Arsenal fan, as an Arsenal fan with your non-bias, what's your opinion with Tottenham then and Man City as Man City won 3-0? Just 1 sec, I'm going out camera for a sec. Go on, Sam, take it away.
Yeah, no, I mean Spurs, honestly. Mourinho, eh? I mean, he's sort of showing his real self again, isn't he? He's that old style of playing, football is just not working very well, is it? And the team, let's be honest, Tottenham, without Kane and without Song, they're not a great team, are they? The players there are not the best. There's a lot of players there who are underperforming, and Tottenham, they're not very good without those 2 players. Kane and Song keep them going. And their defence is a bit suspect as well. They're putting Dyer in defence is not working very well. And what's his name? That the right back. What's his name?
Reguilon.
No, the right back. He came from Lyon, didn't he? What's his name? Something A.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Sergio. Come on, guys in the chat.
The right back is. I keep thinking of Aouar. It's not Aouar because that's the.
I know that's that Lyon player. 1 second, I'm going to check out now.
Yeah, the right back for something A, French.
I know what I'm talking about. 1 second. It's
Aurier. Aurier, that's it.
Yeah, that's
Aurier, that's it. Hold on, Matthew. Matthew in the chat saved us.
Yeah, I knew the chat would come back quicker with the Spanish internet, Sam. I knew.
Bloody hell. So Aurier, he's so hot. He's so hot and cold. He'd have terrible games as well. And Mourinho, he's just been found out. His tactics are old. He's a bit of an old school manager, and then all of a sudden it gets toxic with him, right? That's the thing. He'll lose the dressing room because he'll fall out with players. Players won't like him and everything. And it's just going for the same thing again now.
Do you think he's been backed, Sam?
No, he hasn't been backed because that's Daniel Levy. If he goes to Tottenham, no manager can go to Tottenham. This is the thing I don't understand. No manager can go to Tottenham and think they're going to be backed because Levy never ever backs a manager. It'll get you maybe a few sort of mid-range, mid-level players, on a budget. But those top signings, they're just not going to happen with Levy. And that's why I'm surprised. That's why I'm surprised Mourinho went to Spurs. No, he should have known this. He should have done his due diligence. And realised he wasn't going to get back because he wants players, right? And they've done well with some of their signings. Højbjerg, as you say in English. He's been a decent signing.
Yeah,
he's been a decent signing. He has. That what's his name, Bergwijn, looked good to start off with, but then he's fallen off. He's had a few injuries and that. But they've done well on a budget. But then all of a sudden you see these players as a whole, they're just not working very well. They're just not very good. The defense is not very good. And then as soon as Kane and Son are out of the team,
that's right. Exactly what I was going to. My point is going to be
they're nothing. They're nothing. So Mourinho's a bit past it now, and we see it with Mourinho. He's supposed to come in to win games, and now he's lost. He's lost in the FA Cup. The league. I mean, it's nowhere near getting. I don't think they'll get top 4 in the league. That's not happening.
Yeah.
And you've got to, against City in the final of the League Cup. I can't see them beating that City team. I really can't. Even Mourinho, with his tactical genius, you want to say, he's not going to beat their team. Is not going to beat City's team. I really don't. I can't see it happening. So, yeah. So that's for Tottenham, and then City. I'll tell you what. I got to give Pep Guardiola. I just want to say quickly, you can have your bit, come in and do your bit. But Pep Guardiola, he is, that guy's a genius. Because you see where he's come back from. Last season, they were looking a bit, this season at the beginning, they were looking a bit, what's happening? And then all of a sudden, he's pulled it out again. He's got that team, in full cohesion, full chemistry. He's got the right combination of players now. He's getting the max out of those players. He's got incredible players. Man City do. They've got top level marquee players, but they've got no De Bruyne at the moment. Aguero's been out for most of the season. He's only just coming back a little bit now, a little bit back into it. No De Bruyne, no Aguero, and they're playing really, really well. I mean, you've got to give Pep a lot of credit for that. The way they're playing now, because now they're playing arguably better than they have for a long, long, long time. Yeah. And look at the player, look at these players performing. You look at Gundogan. Gundogan now, you don't need De Bruyne when you got Gundogan. Gundogan's doing what De Bruyne was doing, and he's just got these players firing. Rodri, Gundogan, Foden is doing brilliantly.
That's exactly Foden.
Foden's driving that midfield as well.
He's managed Foden really, really
brilliantly.
Well.
Brilliantly.
Yeah.
And now they've got a solid defense. Diaz, Stones, they're doing really well in defense. I mean, it's they're a solid team. They're a really solid team.
I never thought Stones would make such a comeback. I really didn't. I thought he was gone with Man City a year or two ago.
Yeah,
but in all fairness to him.
And even without Aguero, they've managed to get they get a few goals out of Jesus. But this Gundogan's just stepped up and really taken over. And now with Aguero coming back, if they get him to start scoring some goals, now they're going to just run away with it, I think. But they're still favourites to win, even without Aguero firing on all cylinders. They've got a hand to Pep. Pep's come back again. Pep's just come back again from the deep, and that's it. He's back again.
Currently, I don't know if it is the latest score, but currently it's 2-0 Chelsea half time. Is that right, Sam?
I don't know. I haven't checked, but I can check.
Well, 49 minutes. Going on the BBC website, it's 2-0 Chelsea.
Well, BBC should have it right. Yeah, it's 2-0. Yeah.
So with the new manager, Chelsea have all of a sudden started winning games again.
Well, this is the thing, you see. There's always this discussion with when you start talking about clubs and their performance, teams and their performance, and managers. And we have the same now, Arsenal. And that is there's always this discussion on, is it the players or is it the manager? What is it? And I keep saying, listen, the players, of course, they've got to do their bit. But who is it that's supposed to motivate the players? First of all, pick the right players in the right positions for them to perform well. That's the first job of the manager or the coach, or whatever you want to call him. I'll call him a manager. Call it, he's got to pick the right players in the right positions, right? He has to use the right tactics and strategy to get the best out of them, right? And he has to motivate them. That's his job, is to motivate them. The captain, of course, will do his job on the field, but the manager has to do it off the field, get them prepared, get them motivated off the field, get them ready for the match.
Yeah.
Now, when those things come together, when the formation works, the play works, the cohesion works, the players that are playing together work well together, that's when you get teams that work well and they push on and they win things. And that's when the manager's going to get all the credit as well for doing that, because he's going to get credit for putting that together. Now, when the manager this is what pisses me off. Then when a team's not performing, all of a sudden it's not the manager's fault, it's the player's fault. Right?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying on that, but you know as well.
And if the players down tools,
and
players do down tools, I agree. But why? You've got to ask, why do they down tools? They're downing tools because of the manager. He can't get them motivated. He can't get them playing in a way that works. If a team plays in a way that works for them, where they're successful, they score goals, they play well, they win games, they don't down tools. They down tools when things aren't working, when the tactics suck, they're not doing anything, they're not winning anything, they're losing games, they're playing badly, together as a team. And the players aren't stupid. They know when it's not working. They know when something's working or not, the professional players. They know that. So when they know something's not working, they're not going to want to be motivated. They're not going to want to give you what they should be giving you. And that's when when it looks like it, they down tools and that's it. Things don't work. And then all of a sudden, it's the players' fault. And yes, partly the players are to blame for it because they're not going to give their 110% anymore. But it's because the manager isn't giving them the right tools to work with. They're downing tools, but it's because the tools they've been given are shit, right? That's what I'm saying.
Poundland tools.
Exactly. If you're giving them Poundland tools because you're a shit manager or not a very good manager, you're giving them Poundland tools or used crap tools from some fucking, I don't know, carpet sale somewhere, instead of giving them, a top of the range marquee Bosch, fucking B&Q, top fucking, tier tools. You're not gonna work well, are you? That's what I'm saying. So, this whole debate between whether it's the players or the manager, at the end of the day, it's the manager who has the responsibility for all this anyway.
And Matthew's come back. A great example of what Sam is saying is that Cardiff under Neil Harris did not look ready for games at all, but under Big Nick look hungry, ready, and just fired up for every game. And my criticism of the appointment, but I tell you what.
Why do you haven't? There's always something called a new. Why is there always something called a new manager bounce? Right? There's always that. Most times, there's always a new manager bounce. When a club brings in a new, there's been a manager who's underperforming. The team's been playing shit. Everyone's down in the dumps. The players are, demotivated. They bring in a new manager who, the players think they might be excited by him or they think he's good or whatever. They bring in a new manager. All of a sudden, you're getting a handful of games where everything's working really well and you're winning games, right? You got that new manager, bounce or whatever you want to call it, new manager effect or whatever you want to call it. Now, why does that happen? That happens because the players all of a sudden are motivated, right? This is how important motivating players is. If the new manager comes in, and of course he's got to select a team that works, and he's got to have some tactics that are going to do something. But at the end of the day, if they have a new manager, they want to show, that they want to play for, and they want to give 100% for, and show what they can do, and get cement their place in the team. All of a sudden, you get performances, right? That's what happens with so many teams. A new manager comes in and it turns around, and that's what happens. And then, of course, it's up to the new manager to take that on. And this is what we're seeing with Chelsea. We're seeing the level of difference between a manager like Tuchel and Lampard. Well, we could just see Lampard was in way above his head, You know, he was in the
Yeah.
deep end and
Yeah.
swimming with no help whatsoever. You know, basically just trying to figure out what he was doing as he was going along. And you can see Tuchel comes in with a clear idea. He knows exactly how to play with these guys and how to deploy them. And that's the difference. That's the difference between an experienced top-level manager and someone who's been at Derby for a few months and, he just comes in because he's a legend, basically, right? He's learning on the job. And that's the thing with me with Arteta is, I'm a bit worried about Arteta, his lack of experience.
He's learning on the job. He's learning on
exactly.
the job.
I don't. What's the best way of saying it? I don't doubt Arteta's abilities and potential. I think maybe in 10 years' time, Arteta might be one of the best managers in the world. He might be. In 10 years from now, he might be one of the best managers in the world. Most likely not at Arsenal, at some other club. But, he can get there because I think the potential is there. But for him doing his apprenticeship now, which is basically what he's doing at Arsenal, for me, is not good enough. I don't want a manager doing his apprenticeship.
I understand that.
Yeah.
With regarding Arsenal, Sam, just moving forward, Benfica, that's Thursday now?
Yeah, that's Thursday.
What is it? It's a
fucking mess.
Two games.
It's a fucking mess.
Basically.
You want to hear the way they've set it up? Listen, I haven't seen the latest news, but from according from the latest information I had before the weekend, we're playing now. The two games are decided. We're going to play the first leg, which I can't remember whether we're stipulated as the home team or the away team. I can't remember, but we're either the home team or the away team, and we're playing it in Rome. The game gets played behind closed doors in Rome. That's the first leg. Then the second leg is going to be played behind closed doors in Athens. In fucking Athens. And now we've got this problem. Now we've got this problem where they're saying they might have to move that again because Greece is under some kind of new legislation or lockdown or something. I don't know, whatever. You can't travel in. I don't know what it is. But all of a sudden, they might have to move it away from Athens. I don't know. But it just makes no fucking sense, right? If they're playing behind closed doors, and at Old Trafford they can play behind closed doors, why can't we play behind closed doors at the Emirates and they play behind their closed doors in Portugal? Why can't we do that? In my opinion, you either do that behind closed doors at your home and away venues properly, or if you want them for COVID or safety or whatever reasons, move it away from the original venues. Then you just have one game in a neutral venue. You have a one-game knockout game, and that's it. This home and away, there's no real home and away. They're stipulating who's home and who's away, so the rules are going to be the same based on who's stipulated as the home or away team. But both teams are playing away games.
Yeah, it's basically the only difference in these two games are who gets the home dressing room and who gets the away dressing room.
Exactly. Who gets the home dressing room? That's it. Yeah. They're both playing away. They're both playing away at the same time. Both Benfica and Arsenal are playing away games at the same time. Both of them for both games.
And whose name goes first on the top right-hand corner where the score is, and who goes? I live in Spain, Sam, and Portugal. We've closed the border with Portugal now. Because it has. But you are bang on, really. I mean, if leagues are going to use a bubble, to keep players, keep COVID away from players and staff and so on, then there's absolutely no difference at all whether games in Portugal, London, Mozambique, fucking Kenya, or anywhere else.
That's what I'm saying. Portugal, is not really that far away from England. It's a 3.5 hour, 4 hour plane trip, right? You could. I mean, they can go. They can come to the Emirates, and we can go there. That there should be no problem with that. When they're behind closed doors, like you're saying, in a bubble, they're being taken care of. They're following protocols. Why can't they just do that? They're on a private plane. Everything's all sanitized. They're on a private plane, right? Traveling each way. Why can't we just play at the Emirates? Play at their Stadium of Light or whatever it's called in Benfica at their ground,
Yeah,
You know, why do we got to go all the way to Rome, to Italy, which is further away, and then again we've got to go even further than that again to Athens?
Yeah.
You know, it's ridiculous.
Maybe they think the plane engines can carry COVID from one country. I don't know. I don't fucking know.
Oh my God, Taib's joined us now. Bloody hell, Taib.
She'll find a way to play at Olympic. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Cheddars. Taib, yeah, hi mate. How are you? Hope you're well. Hope you're well.
Sideways FC.
Says,
yeah.
In my opinion, Arteta should have started the Championship club. That's what you said, Sam. I personally think Arsenal thought Arteta was ready for a big job because they had the Pep. Well, many people suggested that. Many people have suggested that it was just a cheap reason. You know, so we'll and then it's Man City then on the weekend, Sam.
Yeah, that's that for me. That we do have a decent track record with Arteta against Manchester City. Yeah. We've lost a couple of games and we won a couple of games, basically. Most notably in the FA Cup. But you know, at the end of the day, the way they're playing now compared to the way we're playing, it's just too. The difference is just too big. They're too good. So for me, it's we're gonna lose the game. I just can't see us even drawing. To be honest, we're gonna lose the game. All I hope for as an Arsenal fan is I just hope we have a decent performance. You know, we don't get absolutely fucked. You know, we just have a decent performance. Losing 2-1 or losing 2-1 or 3-2 or something like that. I don't mind. You know, but getting pummeled. I don't want to get pummeled 6-0. You know, I don't want any of that to happen again. You know, basically.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. I mean, in my respect, Cardiff got Luton away tomorrow. With Preston home on Saturday, and then next
You've won a couple of games in a row, haven't you? You won a couple of games in a row.
I mean, McCarthy, 5 games he's taken charge. First 2 games were, I'll be honest with you, were ropey draws, but they were draws nevertheless. And then the last 3 wins. So he's been undefeated, and all of a sudden we've gone.
Are you McCarthy out? Are you McCarthy out?
No. My fridge is full of fucking humble pie, mate, and I need to fucking start eating it before going off date happens. I'm telling you. But we're from lurking around the relegation zone. When McCarthy came in, we are now 7th, 1 place away from the playoffs. It's just incredible turnaround. Absolutely incredible turnaround. Fingers crossed.
So my question to you then is: I'm gonna say straight off the bat here, I don't know much about Cardiff.
It's fair enough.
So this is just completely outside perspective here. I just want to ask you a general question based on what I've picked up, and that is. So do you think now those 5 games you're talking about, right? And you guys are obviously doing quite well at the moment. Do you think that's what I talked about? Do you think that's what I talked about, like the new manager bounce, the new manager effect? Yeah. And it'll start to you might get back to reality soon? Or do you think he's actually doing a good enough job where you think he could continue?
Well, Matthew mentioned it in the chat earlier. If I'm honest with you, Sam, the squad in which we were in a false position anyway. We were underachieving in a big way. Right. Especially last season where we
because you got to the playoffs, didn't you? You got to the playoffs last season, didn't you? Yeah.
But you could see that the performances, players' performances, you could see most of them did down tools, and it's a shame, but they are, and I do agree with you. There are examples of. A change of direction or change of voice in a changing room can give that kind of morale boost to players. On the other hand, I'm not a trigger happy, fan when it comes. I'm not a supporter of how Chelsea do it. If I'm honest with you, I do think a bit of respect to managers. Give them a decent kind of period and see how are they throughout that period, rather than being trigger happy every fucking season, bump. Because I don't think that benefits a club, players, or the supporters as a whole. I don't know. I mean, I still think it's too late to make the playoffs. We're 6 points ahead, 6 points behind. and it's still, still over 10 games, 12 games, whatever, to play. But something tells me in the back of my mind, it's maybe a couple of games too late. Because there's a lot of teams lurking around that kind of area. We've shot up so much. Luton, who we play tomorrow, they are 3 points behind us, and they lie in 15th place. That's just how close the championship is.
That's a real close table, isn't it? It's a real close table, yeah.
So because of that, something tells me it's maybe a game or two too late. But you never know.
You're playing home or away? I know the fans aren't there, but did you play home or away against Luton?
I think it's away, actually. I'll double check now.
Luton's a shithole anyway. No one's going to Luton.
Yeah, it's away. It's away. One thing before we go, because I'm going to have to go soon. I'm going on Richard's channel in 30 minutes. But one thing before you go. Sam, I mean, I've been going to football for many years and watching football, like yourself. Am I the only person who is getting a bit bored now of not seeing supporters in grounds?
You're not alone. No, it's a very different experience, isn't it? It's a very different experience. If you know what it feels like to me, I don't know if you feel the same. But whenever I see a game now and you don't see any supporters in the stands, you know what it feels like to me? It feels like a friendly game. They're always playing friendlies. That's what it feels like to me.
Like an under-23 game.
Yeah, like a friendly game. You put one together. You put a match together because you want to test a player or you want to try and get someone's fitness levels up or whatever. Like a behind what they call a behind closed doors friendly.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like to me. And it's so weird, and you can hear the players communicate. It's fascinating in one way. You actually hear how the players communicate. You can hear what's going on the field. That is one thing that's quite good about it. But I agree, Brownie. It's about the supporters and not having those crowds there shouting and celebrating and all that. It is very, very different. I agree with you, mate. It doesn't feel the same.
And that's why away records of teams are, in a lot of cases now, are better than home records.
Oh yeah, it doesn't really matter anymore because you haven't got that extra. You haven't got that extra boost, have you? I mean, it does mean something.
The 12th man has never been a finer example of the 12th man example than this. And,
exactly, and I agree with you completely. I really do.
It's so different. Crowds, because if you're watching a game, and you're a supporter of either team, or you haven't got an added interest, maybe you got a bet on it or whatever. I get bored quite quickly, if I'm honest with you. I get bored quite quickly, and bring back fans. I'm just getting sick of this COVID bollocks. If I'm honest with you.
I think we'll see fans. In my honest opinion, I think we'll see fans start to come in at the Euros because I don't know if Cheddars is still here, but Cheddars he's apparently got a couple of tickets for the Euros. And the information I was reading, the information he's getting is it does seem like they are gearing up something to do with fans. Maybe not as many as, maybe there's not going to be as many allowed as normal, of course. But there's going to be something with fans for the Euros. I think.
My point, Sam. I think now anyone in the chat can correct me. I don't know if you know, Sam, but non-league crowds you can have up to 2,000. I think. Right. So what's the difference between a non-league crowd and a bloody Premier League crowd?
Well, I think I can see what you're trying to say, and I can see the logic
at non-league level, you can walk around to the other.
Let me explain. Let me explain. I can see where you're coming from, and I can see where you're thinking, but I think like you say, it's a whole different concept. A small ground, it's much smaller. It's not everything involved. At a big stadium, you've got hundreds of people there who have to be there just for the sake of security and whatever and everything. And you're getting all those people involved and everything, and it's just a whole different set of logistics, isn't it? I think it's got a lot to do with that as well. Whereas with a small ground, it's not really. you're not really going to get a couple of thousand people for a small ground, are you? I suppose mostly now.
I just think that I completely get your point regarding the additional people, security and so on. But my point is, at non-league grounds, you're more free to walk around. Walk around, potentially spread the virus in different areas of the small stadium. Whereas in the Premier League, you have your seat, and you can't move out of that seat for the best part of 90 minutes, apart from half time, obviously. It makes sense on one hand, but complete.
Yeah, it's like, this is the thing with these regulations, isn't it? That they are very, very difficult to understand the logic in them, because like you pointed out there, I can't really explain it, really, to be honest, apart from I just think it has to do with the logistics of it, that they let them sort of get on with the smaller grounds because it's much easier for them to just get it, like you say, get in and out, no problem, all of that. There is Randy. Big up, Randy. Nice to see you, mate. It's just much easier for them to get in and out. There's no real problem with the logistics. It's just it's like get on yourself, do it yourself kind of thing. It's they're letting them do it, get on yourself. And also you got to remember, I think this is another quite important point, is that the smaller you are, further down you are in the league system, I think the more this COVID is hurting you, because the fans basically is your only revenue stream, isn't it? Basically at that level.
Yeah.
So if you're not allowed to have any fans, you're not getting any money.
Yeah.
Whereas there's still money coming in, from merchandising, sponsorship, things like that, for the bigger clubs, So, I think it's important for the smaller clubs to be able to sort of have their revenue stream. And I think it's also, they just think, it's only a couple of thousand people. It's a small ground. It's logistically very easy to handle. Just come and go, like you say, just walk around where you want. You come and go where you want. It's all open, isn't it? Mostly terraces, things like that. You're not sitting down, so it's a whole different, it's a lot easier task to manage. I think that's what it is. And whereas we're talking with Premier League or the top leagues and all the stadiums and everything, all that's involved, the logistics, all the hundreds of people you have to have involved. And also I don't think they like say, of course they want the fans there for the money, but they're not they've got, my point is, they've got other revenue streams, haven't they? Whereas the small clubs don't really have any other revenue streams.
Listen, we're gonna have to stop it there. Sorry, Sam.
Yes, that's no problem.
Thank you very much for saving my life tonight. Much appreciated.
I had to come on and have a chat with you because you're talking bollocks as usual.
Hey, I love talking bollocks, but the thing is, I hate talking bollocks to myself. That's the problem. So in the test, when you watch,
where's his test? Was he going to sleep or something then?
Yeah, he did. In all fairness, he lives in India, so it got to be like 4 o'clock in the morning. And 2 hours ago, he did tell me that he was pissed. So it may well be going on his previous pissed up streams. It may well have been better that he was off. But
exactly.
Anyway, thanks a lot, Sam, saving my skin.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
I'm going to have to jump on Rich's channel now, Rich Sports, and Gary's on here as well. So come in and chat, Sam.
I'll come in the chat and have a look, yeah.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you very much, everyone. In the comments, thanks a lot for watching it later or whatever. And hopefully can do every Monday, just looking back on the weekend's football. Have a chat and take it from there. Get rid of the boredom. Take care. Take care all. Bye-bye.
Bye, folks.